Hey you guys, it's Amelia here, and today's video is another video from a guest student. This is a lady from Poland actually, and she sent me a video of her riding her horse, which I just think is so cool. It's really exciting for me to see that there's people all over the world watching my videos, so shout out for that, and maybe comment below, tell me where you're watching from. So anyways, this lady has a super nice horse. I really like the mare. She looks very forward, which is always fun. Good gait, and just I think she's doing a great job with her. She struggles a little with the canter work. So you'll see like the walk and the trot are super relaxed. But when she gets to the canter, the mare gets a little bit hot and tense, and it looks like she has trouble managing the canter. So I'm sure that some of you guys may have this problem with a horse where you feel like, okay, I can walk and trot, but the canter just gets kind of out of hand. So I'm going to give you guys some tips to maybe help with the canter. One of the best things is to just really focus on your seat and breathing, like not pulling on the horse, but just really connecting through your seat and trying to regulate the speed of the canter with your seat and your upper thighs. And then the other thing is, doing like circles. That'll help slow your horse down. Also lots of transitions. And the other thing that you can do that can help your horse kind of find the balance, because some horses just don't really understand to canter slowly. They just kind of think to canter fast. So another thing that you can do is teach them to lunge or long line a little bit, and that can help teach your horse to canter a little bit slower. So let's check this girl out and I will comment. Okay, so to start with, you notice that the horse has a very nice walk. She has a big overtrack, a clear rhythm, and she moves really nicely through her body. I also love how this rider has a good position. She has a nice bend to her elbows. You can see she's following the motion of her horse's head as she's walking along here. And her seat and her hips are moving really nicely with the horse. So now in the trot, again, you can see the rider maintains a very nice position. The horse looks like she's moving freely forward. She's in a nice frame, not too high, not too low. So this all looks really good. One thing that I would work on here in the trot with this horse is starting to get her to understand the bending aids. So just on the circle lines here, really focusing that the rider can have her inside leg at the girth, her outside leg a little behind the girth. So you see how that right hind leg swings a little to the outside of the circle line? So the outside leg of the rider needs to be a little bit there to keep the outside leg of the horse tracking a little bit better around the circle line. So this rider mentioned to me that the horse likes to lean on that right leg, and that right shoulder in is difficult. That's something that you need to keep track of all the time, even when you're going left and when you're going right. So again, here now she's circling to the right, which looks like a little bit easier to get the bend, but still knowing that we have a little trouble with the canter, she needs to really focus on being able to put her legs on. So here we see a little canter, and you can tell that the horse gets a little faster and a little tense in the canter. The rider does a really good job of staying with the horse. So let's look at the canter again, this time in slow motion. So one thing that I notice is that the rider comes a little bit more forward in her body, and the horse also pushes her to the outside. So you'll see as she comes around here how her hips have moved to the outside of the circle line. So she needs to think about getting her hips more to the right, keeping her hips to the inside, and then also about keeping her shoulders a little bit more back. And at the same time that she has that inside leg in the girth and the outside leg behind the girth. That's going to help the horse relax and accept her leg in the canter. So now we're back in the trot, and she's riding a little bit of shoulder in. And this again is a great exercise. Anything that she can do to teach the horse to accept her legs is going to really help the canter, because a hot horse, they need to learn to let you put the leg on. So a great way to teach the horse to accept your leg is to teach them to bend between your legs. So you can see here she's doing a little yield off her left leg. It's important, though, that her right leg is behind the girth as she yields the horse off the left leg at the girth, because she needs to teach this mare to bend in the body. Like, to me, I think the right hind leg is swinging a little bit too much out to the right. And I think that this will really help her canter if she can teach this horse to really accept her legs and not to just rush faster any time that she puts her leg on the horse. And here she lets the horse stretch a little bit down. I like how this rider really goes with the horse, and that's important on a hot horse, that you kind of are willing to compromise. You see her pet the horse a lot. You know, she told me that this horse, I think, is 7 years old, and that it was somewhat difficult to start. So again, there you could see she went on that little small circle to set the horse up for the canter, but the haunches were really swinging out. So I'd like to see a little more outside leg back and really getting the horse to bend between her legs. And then same thing here in the canter. I think if she sat a little more back and a little more connected, that she could help this horse find just a little bit more relaxation in the canter. But she does a great job with this horse. It's really, really fun to see. And thank you again for submitting this video. It's really helpful, I think, for everyone to see other people ride and just to have some confidence in knowing that you're not the only one that's struggling.